Thank you, and great idea, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Mr. Secretary, for being here today. Last year, according to the World Travel and Tourism Council, the United States saw a 5.5% decline in international visitors. We were the only major economy to see any decline. In my home state of New Hampshire, tourism is the second largest industry, both by revenue, and it supports 70,000 jobs. Canada has long been our largest share of foreign visitors, but last year we saw a 30% drop in Canadian tourism, largely due to the loss of trust and goodwill because of this administration's rhetoric around Canada. Secretary Lutnick, last week you said about Canada's economic strategy, and I quote, "They suck." I believe your spokesperson then said this was about Canada's economy leeching off of the U.S. How does insulting our closest ally and neighbor help the businesses in my state of New Hampshire and states all across this country who are hurting because of the loss of Canadian business and tourism?
Canada's economy leans on the incredible $30 trillion economy of America. But
there's no doubt about that, Mr. Secretary. But insulting our closest ally and neighbor who provides a lot of business, we have a lot of businesses in New Hampshire, small businesses who work on both sides of the border. We have all those Canadian visitors who are not coming because of your comments and comments by the administration. How does that help our economy?
It is outrageous that Canada will not put U.S. spirits on the shelf. It is insulting.
It is.
And disrespectful to America that they won't
Absolutely.
even put...
And my husband has an interest in a company that has American spirits. And they won't do it because of the insults from this president and comments like yours. So I want to go on to another question.
But can I have just one small comment, which is dairy is treated so badly, and your state cares about dairy, and we are trying desperately to get them to live to the deal that they have on USMCA and stop treating our dairy farmers so poorly, and your state cares about that, and we are fighting for that.
We do, but we are not going to get agreement when we keep insulting people. When we have allies and partners, we should try and work with them, not insult them. And I find your rhetoric insulting to the people in my state who are working so hard to try and ensure that they can do business. I want to move on to BEAD and the non-deployment funds because Secretary Lutnick, as I said the last time you were here, Senator Collins and I led the negotiations around the bipartisan infrastructure law and those broadband provisions. And when we enacted BEAD into law, as Chairman Moran said, we understood that any remaining funds after broadband deployment would be used for adoption. New Hampshire was promised nearly $200 million in BEAD funding, yet only $18.6 million has been awarded for deployment. That means New Hampshire has nearly $180 million left for non-deployment activities. So when can we expect guidance from NTIA on how states can spend the estimated $21 billion in remaining non-deployment BEAD funds?
We finished our listening tour. We took the comments, over 280 comments and 1,000 people who spoke to us. We are narrowing the gap. We will make sure that we are covering all broadband access, and we will have a plan that we would be happy to discuss with you, as I said, within the coming months.
And do you have a deadline for when you're hoping to get that plan to us?
My
Other than
objective,
soon?
Well, my objective was to start by getting the money out and getting America the benefit of the bargain, which we've done, right? 54 states and territories executed and out the door finally, right? This is getting the money out the door. But I would expect over the next 2 months we will have our plan in place, and we will be happy to discuss it with you.
Okay, I only have a few seconds left, but in your confirmation hearing last year, you said that the United States needed to stop China from, and I quote, using our tools to compete with us. And you specifically called out U.S. companies for advancing Beijing's AI ambitions. Since then, the administration has allowed powerful chips to be exported to China. Can you assure us today that the administration is going to stop those chip sales to China that would advance its military modernization? We heard yesterday at the Armed Services Committee from Admiral Paparo, who expressed concern about China being able to access those advanced chips.
There is a delicate balance in the relationship with China. President Trump has the best relationship with President Xi, and he balances that. I want to be crystal clear. We are not selling our best chips to China under any circumstance. We are not even selling the best scale of chips, meaning they're called Blackwell. They're not even that brand. This is multi-years ago, and there's that balance, and I understand that balance, but the president understands it the best, and he is trying to balance in between there. I would tell you they have not bought any as of today.
Well, I'm out of time, Mr. Secretary, but I would urge you to look at the intelligence on the chips, because that is not what the intelligence says about what we are selling to China. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.